Hello, my name is Ivy Copa, and my destination was Providence Canyon State Park. Providence Canyon State Park is located in Lumpkin, Georgia. It's a state park consisting of 16 canyons and 2 trails. The park spreads across over 1,000 acres of land. It's often known as the Little Grand Canyon because it is always compared to the Grand Canyon, which is located in Arizona. Providence Canyon became popular with tourists by the early 20th century. The canyons may seem like they've been there forever, but they were actually man-made. Due to poor farming practices in the early 1800s, it caused erosion which created the canyons. An influx of settlers from the west moved to the area and had no idea how to deal with the soil. Now Providence Canyon is seen as one of the most unique natural areas because it was created due to human error. Now I'm going to talk about my experience at the park. I traveled to the park on February 13th with 4 of my friends. The ride from FSU was about 2.5 hours. My first impression of the park was that it was stunning, but the weather hit lows in the 20s and I wasn't prepared for it. Despite being uncomfortable, the canyons completely took my breath away. The orange and reds mixed in the soil formations was an incredible sight to see. We decided to take the trails to explore all of the canyons. Out of the 2 trails, my friends and I decided to take the shorter trail so we could take our time at each canyon before the sun went down. The muddy, wet trail showed a preview composition of the canyons. When we reached the canyons, we were surprised that their makeup was similar to the wet sand that we had traveled on the trail. The canyons are sandy, unlike the rocky terrain we think of when reminded of the Grand Canyon. Along with the historic value of the park that was created out of human destruction in the 1800s, the park includes an abandoned homestead that adds to its charm. About a dozen rusted cars lie across the land. It is one of the strangest sights to see, yet compelling to the point that travelers will find themselves sitting inside the cars or taking pictures next to them. Officials did not take the cars out of the park because removing them would cause more environmental damage than it would leaving them in place. The park has recently seen an influx of visitors from Tallahassee, especially from Florida State. The reason that I even discovered Providence Canyon State Park was through friends that also go to Florida State. I think the reason that many students are traveling to Providence Canyon is because it's so easy to expose someone to this type of nature. The trails are super small and super easy to do. Even the most inexperienced of tourists can really enjoy the park. Providence Canyon truly does not suffer from a lack of natural beauty. The park is a gem in the middle of nowhere. Lumpkin, Georgia is incredibly boring. The small town, even surrounding areas, do not have anything to compare to Providence Canyon. When exploring through the park, I realized that tourists truly come here just for the park itself. Other than hiking the trails and taking in the beauty, the park is just a photo op. But despite the fact that the park is an isolated attraction, everyone should really take the time and take a visit to the park. Providence Canyon is so unique to our region where canyons are extremely rare. Also, the fact that these rare canyons were created by humans just adds to the fact that the park is extraordinary and worth the trip.